What's going on, guys? Ants Trades back with another video. What an absolutely beautiful day we got today. Absolutely perfect. It was exactly what I wanted to see. The SPY was amazing. AMC was amazing. Guys, we broke the fucking wedge today. AMC broke its 2-year long descending wedge and closed above today. Um, I'm still shaking. I'm legitimately still shaking. I'm very, very excited. I have a lot to talk about today. So let's just jump into it. Oh, one more thing I wanted to say really quick, and this is to all the bots and the shills and the coffee boys in my comments. With full disrespect, hold my nuts. Thank you. So let's get into it. This is the SPY today. Opened at 405.20, about approximately. For most of the day, we were trading sideways. You get a wick down here to like 402.50. And then with the Fed speech, and I'm just going to be completely honest, I turned it on for like 3 seconds, and then I got bored and I turned it off. And, the reason being is that news is bullshit, plain and simple. Wall Street, they control mainstream media. They control everything, and with that power, they have the power to control the narrative. And through all this shit, oh, inflation, this, that, market's gonna crash. They're literally setting up a bullish reversal while they're pushing all this garbage in your face, telling you to sell. And this is a bullish reversal here, and it broke out of its descending broadening wedge. That's what they do. They're not trying to help you make money. They're trying to help take money from you. That's what they do. They want to take your money. They don't want to help you make money. And then, really quick, I mean, I could see this getting very, very bold prediction here, but I could see the SPY going to 480 again. And I mentioned this in one of my other videos. I could see this playing out as a double top. And then up here, they're going to be talking about how great everything is and how everything is a buy. And then, once the good news starts coming out about the market and everything, that's when they will pull the rug on retail, and the sheep will be waiting down here to catch the knife. So yeah, that's pretty much it. News is bullshit. I already knew the SPY was going to rip today, and it wasn't because of anything that J Powell was going to say. I want to make this very clear to you guys. I knew this was going to rip today, and it has nothing to do with the news. I don't even know what he said. Still, I have no idea what he said. I just knew it was going to rip because the algorithms that trade everything are cyclical, and they run on a cycle, and I figured it out, and I know where we are in our cycle. And I'm expecting, I mean, everything's lining up. The SPY is going to run, AMC is going to run, APE is going to run. I already knew we were going to get a crazy day today. So it doesn't really matter what the news is. I mean, he could have said that we declared war on Russia today, and this shit was ripping anyway. Is pretty much my point. So, anyways, I said yesterday I could see the SPY going to 410 today. We got a little bit more than that actually, and came up to 413.60. Closed the day at 410. Overall, bullish as fuck. It looks amazing. Have absolutely no complaints. Really quickly, EMAs while I'm here on the daily. The 20 is pretty much touching the 200. This is going to cross tomorrow. The 20 is crossing the 200 tomorrow on SPY, and this is now 8 days in a row closing above the 200. The 50 is going to be creeping up slowly behind. That's going to be your golden cross, and you're going to see this thing take off. I mentioned that yesterday as well. It looks good. Volume was pretty much the same as yesterday. Again, I'm not really paying too much attention to volume right now, because I feel like they're trying to make this seem a little bull trappy, if I'm being honest. But it really is bullish though. So, I mean, it is what it is. So I'm going to hop really quick into the 1 hour and just show you the trend that we have going on, and we'll talk about what we can maybe expect for tomorrow. So where's my trend line? All right. So here is your trend. Where did we close the day yesterday? Am I blind? Give me a minute. I'm having a little bit of a brain fart here. All right. So Yeah, so spent most of the day trading in this range, you know, came down 405, 404, just sideways all day. And then we saw the rip to 410, which is exactly what I was looking for. We got it. We wicked up to 413, closed at 410. Tomorrow I could see playing one of two ways. And I'm leaning towards gapping to 416. I can see the SPY gapping up to 416 tomorrow and maybe trading sideways up there in this range. There's also the possibility that you come back down to the trend line, maybe early in the morning, and then close back at like 410 again, something like that. I just think we're going to see a gap tomorrow, as I think we're going to see a gap with AMC tomorrow, and I will get into that in a second. But guys, it looks good. You know, the volume looks amazing. It looks good. I have no complaints. It's bullish as fuck. There's really nothing else for me to say. Like, I got exactly what I wanted today. Everything looks great. With that being said, that's enough with the SPY. And we'll jump into the daily on AMC. Holy shit. I cannot believe this. I can't believe this. This is exactly what we wanted. We broke and closed above the descending wedge that we've been trading in since June 2nd. June 2nd. We just, first time that we broke and closed above today. Guys, we're squeezing. I don't know what else I have to do. Honestly, I really don't know what else I have to do. What else I have to show. I feel like for the most part, you guys are kind of on board with my theory. But there are some people that think that my theory is bullshit. I really don't know what else to say at this point. If you don't see it by now, I really don't know what else I could say to you. Here's the bars pattern. You know, this may be a shocker, but we're still tracking it perfectly. You know, we finished our retracement yesterday, and I said today that I was expecting to break and close above the wedge, which is exactly what we got. I said $6.50 to $7 range. I'm going to get into why I said that, but, you know, it's really not a big deal. I think we're going to see some more upward price action tomorrow. We might see a gap up. We'll get into that. Guys, since November of 21, this thing has been following almost one-to-one. Almost one-to-one. I predicted all-time highs by end of January. That prediction kind of went out the window because we retraced here for 2 weeks, 2 full weeks of trading in this retracement, and we just broke out today. I mentioned this was a W, and we finished our retracement yesterday, and we're going to be expecting to form the other leg of the W, which is what we did today, and it is not going to stop there, guys. I could see this thing ripping tomorrow, maybe a full bar, if not gapping up to $8 approximately. Yeah, somewhere around the 200. It's a possibility that we come up to the 100 first. Maybe what you got tomorrow is, you know, a sideways day where you come up to the 100, close somewhere in the middle here, like a doji candle. Other scenario is you just gap up to the 200 at around $8, $8 or $9 tomorrow. I'm gonna get more into the scenarios, what we can be expecting, but you know, it looks really good. I mean, it always has. Like, since I first started making my videos, it has been tracking, and that's why I keep saying there's absolutely no reason for me to believe we're not squeezing, because there's nothing to suggest that I'm wrong. I went through the full theory. If you watch the video, you'll understand. My theory is it's fucking solid, and we have been tracking this thing for over a year now, and we just broke and closed above the wedge. Oh my God. Craziness. Actually, craziness. All right, really quick. I'm still excited. I really can't. Been waiting for this day for a very, very long time. So, really quickly, let's go into the 15-minute. And I'll show you what I was looking at today, all day. So, this was the trend. I mentioned this in my video yesterday when we broke out of our fib retracement pattern was a descending wedge. We broke out of it at the end of yesterday, and I drew this trend line yesterday, and I said we could expect to trade, you know, on this trend line all day and break the wedge, which is exactly what we got. It respected it this whole time. I mean, you get a wick below there, came up in the morning, came down, wicked below again, and then bounced all the way back up and closed above the wedge. Looks like we're down a little bit after hours right now. Not really a big deal. Guys, it looks really good. It just does. Really quickly, I'm just gonna jump into so I have a split screen here of where we are today, which is on our right, and this was pre-January squeeze, right? So I've showed the bars pattern a million times by now. If you've been following me, you know what I'm talking about. The bars pattern is following perfectly, guys, perfectly. So, pre-January 21 squeeze, you get some gaps here, get rejected off the wedge, 1 day of retracement, break the wedge. On the right, get some gaps here, get rejected off the wedge. This was 2 weeks of retracement, very annoying, very slow. The algorithm really slowed down here, really cut volume. Um, Very, very annoying going through all this, especially with the red day we had the other day coming down to 495. That was a scary day. Um, but I did say I was expecting a bounce. We got the bounce, and then I said yesterday I'm expecting to break the wedge, and that's exactly what happened. We broke the wedge. Guys, this is fucking awesome. I don't know how else to say it. Just to put it in perspective, and like I said, we've been following this pattern, the fractals, for over a year. Pre-January 21, when you break this wedge, it's 3 days. 3 days. Gap, gap, and the algo just snaps all-time highs. Not all-time highs, because this wasn't all-time highs for AMC. But anyways, same thing. Break the wedge, gap, gap. We'll just say all-time highs for the sake of argument. Guys, that's what I'm expecting over here. That's what I'm expecting for us. I think we're gonna see some gaps. Like I said before, maybe you can expect a gap to the 200 EMA tomorrow around $8. Maybe what you get is a doji that you come up and touch 650 range around the 100, come back down to 570, or maybe even the wedge. Just trading in this range, and the day with a doji here somewhere. I would like to see that. That wouldn't be bad. I have no reason to believe we're coming back into this wedge at all. I have no reason to believe we're seeing any more downside until we see all-time highs. Obviously, you're going to see ups and downs on the way up. Like these candles, they're ups and downs, but they're going in an upward direction. These are gaps. It's what I'm expecting. And I was actually thinking about this today too, because just the price action in the morning, I knew that we were breaking the wedge. When we did break above it, we wicked above it in the morning and then came back down. I'm like, this is the day. We're breaking out of the wedge today. I don't know what J Pow is about to say. I really don't give a fuck what he's going to say, because I know the algorithm is going to pump some volume in, and we're going to see some green no matter what he says, because that's what I'm expecting, because the algorithm, that's what it's showing me. Like, this guy could have said anything and this shit was going green, because that's what the algorithm, that's where we are in the pattern. So it just makes sense. I was thinking about this earlier though, and this is kind of a crazy thought, but so once you break out here pre-January 21, you get 2 gap days and then all-time highs. So just for the sake of argument, let's say we get the same thing here, and this can be a little bit different. This is going to be hard for me to predict. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. This is not going to be an easy thing for me to predict. The bars pattern it's following perfectly, but the way that we squeeze is not going to be easy to predict. Maybe what you get, maybe you get a gap to $8 tomorrow. In the pre-January cycle, it would have been, if we're just talking strictly about how this played out, what we would get tomorrow is a gap to $8, $8-9 range, and then Friday we would get another gap slightly higher, maybe to like $9 or $10. And this is a complete mind fuck. So we would go into the weekend closed around $8 to $10 roughly, and then Monday morning you'd open at $140. Now I know that sounds fucking stupid. It sounds very crazy. It doesn't make any sense. It does not have to make sense. Think about that. It does not have to make sense. This thing is running. We're squeezing, guys. Not financial advice, but we're fucking squeezing, right? They do not want to lose money on the way up. So wouldn't that just make sense if you just let us gap to like $9, $10, close the week at like $10, and then Friday morning pre-market, just absolute fucking boom candles to the sky, and then nobody can get in, And then when the market opens, like I said before, we're going to open at the top, and then everybody who's FOMOing in is going to be buying the top. And then, it's going to do this pattern again. That's just my prediction for what I see coming. Maybe this can play a different way where tomorrow we gap up to the 200 around 9. Maybe the next day we gap to, $16, $20 range, somewhere like that, going into the weekend there. And then Monday you get that open at all-time highs. Guys, this is going to be hard for me to predict. I'm just going based off how this worked out back here because it is following. I've been comparing these 3 fractals here to these 3 here, and it is the same exact thing. Just going how we're going to squeeze, though, is a little bit different. I could really give my best approximation, but it's going to be hard to really, give you guys... Like, today I was on fucking point. I was. It was exactly what I was expecting. I called AMC to break out of the wedge. We did. I called SPY 410. SPY went to 413, closed 410. Today was exactly what I was looking for, exactly what I predicted. It was a great day. Great day. Guys, we broke the fucking wedge. This is a huge deal. Huge deal. Never have we closed above this wedge. We're squeezing, guys. Straight up. We're squeezing. I don't know how we're going to squeeze. I mean, I gave you a couple scenarios just now. I don't know how exactly we're going to squeeze, but we're fucking squeezing, guys. So, with that being said, I don't really know if I have some new people here, so I will show this one more time and tell you why I'm expecting $140. So I'm gonna run through the fib extension one more time here, and maybe I'll do it in tomorrow's video too. But this is a Fibonacci extension. It's pretty good to help you predict the top of a move. So it's taken from the bottom here to the top to the bottom. The January 2021 squeeze came halfway in between the 2618 and the 3618. Came halfway in between. Maybe you could argue this would have came all the way up to the 3618, barring buy button removal. But just to be safe, we'll say 2618 and 3618 came halfway in between. This is the June run. From the bottom here to the top of January, back to the bottom. June came to the 3618 pretty much on the dot. So January went in between the 2618 and 3618. June came up to the 3618 on the dot. So what can we expect for this squeeze? Wrong one. What can we expect from this squeeze? Now, this is from the bottom here to the top of the June move, and then to the bottom here, almost 100%. I could pretty much say with 100% certainty now that the bottom is in. Just the fact that we broke out of this wedge, this thing is not coming back down. Just my opinion. I do not see a world where this thing comes back down to the bottom of this trend line. And saying that the bottom's in, what can we expect for this squeeze? I'm looking at the range right here, where you have a 2618 of 106.50, a 3618 of 145.72. Conservatively, for this squeeze, you could say $110. You can conservatively say $125. My price target for my contracts is going to be probably around 130, 140. So yeah, I'm fully expecting us to squeeze, guys. And that would be honestly that scenario that I just gave you before, where we have 2 gap days for Thursday and Friday this week, and then Monday you open at all-time highs. That scenario makes perfect sense in my head. Honestly, it does, because nobody has the opportunity to FOMO in, so they're not going to be losing money like that. No one will be able to buy calls on the way up because we'll already be up there. And then, when you do open up there, like what happened back here in January of 21, what did I do? I don't even know what I'm doing right now. All right. January 2021, you open at the top, huge wick down, and then you close near the top again. I'm expecting this squeeze to play like that, guys. Straight up. I think we let me not give dates, but I think we're gonna see all-time highs next week, guys. It could be Monday, it could be later in the week. This is very bold, but I think we're gonna see 3 figures for AMC next week. I have no reason not to. I've shown you guys. I ran through my entire theory. I've shown you guys all my TA. Since I made my YouTube account, I've pretty much been completely on point. I've been a little bit off with dates, and I told you why. That the algo was in fucking slow motion here for a minute, and then we just broke out today. But I've been on point. I pretty much called everything perfectly. I'm calling the SPY pretty good. Like why? And the reason I'm calling it so good is because this has been following, guys. I've been following this shit for over a year with little to no deviation in the bars pattern. I have no reason to think we're not going to squeeze, especially the fact that we broke out of the fucking wedge today. Guys, we're squeezing. Like, we're squeezing. Not financial advice, but AMC is squeezing to 3 figures uh, next week. So that's just my opinion. That's my opinion on the situation. I've shown you guys all of my TA. It all makes sense to me. I'm pretty sure it makes sense to you guys too. With that being said, yeah, I mean, I could not have asked for a better day. Really. I really couldn't have. Got exactly what I wanted in the SPY. Got exactly what I wanted in AMC. We broke out of the wedge. I've been waiting for this moment for a very, very long time. So I'm very happy. Ape looks great. Again, broke its neckline of the inverse head and shoulders. Saw some gaps up. Actually gapped down today and then closed the day over the gap. So great. Everything looks perfect, guys. Bullish as fuck. Everything looks perfect. Perfect. I mean, I'll have a better idea tomorrow with tomorrow's price action, how this is going to squeeze. I mean, if we do see a gap to like $8 or $9, it's looking like Monday is the day for all-time highs. I'm just going to be honest. I have to see. This can play a lot of different ways. I think it's going to be fast regardless, but I could be off where we're going to get gaps to. Maybe we gap somewhere up here into this range. I don't really know. I have to see. I mean, I told you before, just the way this played out last time. You gap up to the 200. You have 2 days that was consecutive. You close above the wedge. And then you have gap consecutive right around the 200 EMA, and then the algo just fucking snaps, and you open at all-time highs. So that would align for Monday. That would align for us going into the weekend at $10, and then waking up Monday morning and looking at your phone, and AMC is 140. So I have to see how the price action goes tomorrow. Regardless of how the price action goes tomorrow, I still believe we're squeezing, and this is bullish as fuck. Everything looks perfect. It's great, guys. It really is. So, with that being said, great day today. I hope everyone had a good day. Very exciting day for AMC. The SPY looks great. I think it's time. I think it is time for us to see some new highs. So, hope everyone has a good night, and I will see you guys tomorrow.